students, I am Ankit Dushkarma, your science teacher. So today we are gonna start the very first chapter of biology. It is the fundamental unit of life. So what is the fundamental unit of life? Obviously you all know, we have studied in class 8th also. Cell is the fundamental unit of life. So what is cell? If we define it, so the cell is the structural and functional unit of life. First of all, one thing you have to do, maintain a proper notebook, and whatever I write down here, you have to note down in your notebook. First, the definition of cell. What is cell? So it is the structural and functional unit of life. It is the structural and functional unit of life. So the question arises, what is structural and what is functional? Suppose this is a school building. So what it is made up of? What is the smallest unit used to construct this building? Obviously, what is that? Brick. From brick, when brick combines, a whole building is constructed. Likewise, your body, my body, animals, plants, all these are made up of very smallest unit, and that smallest unit is called cell. It is a cell has its own definite structure, and when these cells combine together to form a body. All the living organisms, whether they are bacteria, amoeba, human beings, plants, all these are made up of, they are structured from the cell. Next is functional. Here I am looking at you from my eyes. My stomach is digesting food, my kidney is removing waste from my body. Each organ of my body is performing a specific function. So when this cell combines to form tissue, tissue combines to form organ, and each organ perform a definite function. So here functional means just every cell is performing a specific function. Each cell is digesting, each cell is taking oxygen, each cell is obtaining energy. So all the cells have their own different functions. The cells of my eyes are working, are looking. The cells of my stomach are helping to digest the food. The cells of my heart is pumping the blood. So each cell have their own functions. The next topic is discovery of cell. Means when cells were first discovered. Who discovered the cell? So who is that scientist? Robert Hooke. Write down. Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke was the first scientist who discovered cell in year 1665. Now our next topic is discovery of cell. Means who discovered the cell? Who was that scientist who first observed that cell exists? So Robert Hooke. Remember the name of this scientist because it is very important. Robert Hooke was the first scientist who discovered cell. Write down. Robert Hooke. And he discovered cell in year 1665. So what did he do? He took a cork. Cork is a wood, or we can say bark of a tree. He took a cork and took one compound microscope. When he observed through that microscope, he found that there were some dead cells. When he observed that cork, he found that it looks like honeybee-like structure. When he was observing through that microscope, he saw a structure like honeybee, and he called it this as a room. As you know that honeybee has so many rooms. So when he observed that, he found some rooms, and he gave that room name as cell. He called those rooms as cells. From then onwards, in the year 1665, but there was one thing. He found that these cells, these rooms were dead. He only discovered that there are dead cells. So then came another scientist. There was another scientist, Leeuwenhoek, after Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke only found dead cells. Then came Leeuwenhoek, and he for discovery he collected some pond water, and when he observed in that pond water, he found some living organism, like amoeba, paramecium. So when he used his microscope, he observed some living organism. So what you have to remember that Robert Hooke discovered dead cells, whereas Leeuwenhoek discovered living cells. Then there is cell theory. The cell theory. Two scientists named Sheldon and Swan. These are the two scientists who gave us the cell theory, Sheldon and Swan. What they wrote in their theory that all the living organisms are made up of cells. So the first point of their theory was all the living organism are made up of cells. Second point of their theory, they concluded that cell is structural and functional unit of life. This point we have already discussed in the cell topic. The third point they gave that cells arises spontaneously. So first point was all the living organisms are made up of cells. That is true. Cells is structural and functional unit of life. That is also true. But the third point he gave proved to be wrong. It was the wrong point which were noticed by the next scientist, that is Virchow. We will discuss it later. So why it is wrong that he gave that cells arise spontaneously? Means cells produce just by magic. If here also cells is produced, here also, but it does not happen. Cells doesn't produce by magic or spontaneously. They arise by pre-existing cells. Means one cell can produce another cell. It does not produce automatically. Until and unless there is one already pre-existing cell, there is no possibility of producing a new cell. So who was that scientist who gave the third point? The scientist name was Virchow. Virchow. Virchow came up with the modern cell theory, and the theory of Virchow was still followed in the current situation. So So the third point we get is cells arise from pre-existing cell. For example, my skin cell can produce more new skin cell. My hair cell can produce new hair cell. No other cell can produce the another cell. So these were the 3 points of modern cell theory, and it is still applied in the biology. This is the very important chapter of biology. That's why it is kept in the very first of your 9th class. So this is modern cell theory. So what are the points of modern cell theory? All the living organisms are made up of cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. And third point is cells arise from pre-existing cells. Then next come types of cells present in any living organism. As I already told you, cells have different structure. So whatever the function, the cell will be like that, है ना? The cells shape depends on their function. So types of cell. There are various types of cell. Our blood cell is different, bone cells is different, the cell present in my hair is different, my eye cell is different. That's why they are performing their particular function. So like see, suppose there is blood cell. Its structure will be, structure is like this. My nerve cell. What is the function of nerve cell? Nerve cell help to send the impulse from one part to the another and reaches it to the brain. Nerve cell is, you have to remember, nerve cell are the longest cell present inside our body. Nerve cell, जिसको न्यूरॉन बोलते हैं. Its shape is nerve cell looks like this. Then comes fat cells. The fat stored in our body consists of a different cell, that is fat cells. They look like this. They are ring-like structure. These are the fat cells. The cell which amoeba is consist of looks like this. So each cell has their own definite shape. And one more thing you have to remember, the smallest cell is our sperm cell. So next topic is types of organism based on cell. Means organisms are classified into two main topics that are based on their number of cells present in their body. So what are these two? Unicellular organism and multicellular organisms. Unicellular and multicellular. As the name suggests, uni means one and multi means multiple, various number of cells. So unicellular organisms are made up of only one cell, whereas multicellular organisms are made up of more than one cell. And if we talk about it, their examples, so unicellular organism, amoeba, yeast, paramecium, these are the unicellular organisms. Whereas if we talk about multicellular organism, we human beings, plants, all are multicellular organisms. So what is the basic difference between unicellular and multicellular? What happens in unicellular? They are made up of only one cell, and that one cell is capable to perform various functions. That particular one cell can digest, can breathe out, can do reproduction. But our body is very complex, and a single cell cannot do all the functions. So the cells of our different organs or different body parts are made up of different cells. That's why we are multicellular organism. We have, suppose if I talk about brain, so the cells of my brain have their own function. The cells of my heart has their own functions. So I hope you all enjoyed today's class, and I expect you to learn more and more from my classes. Thank you. Have a nice day.